So this is a high pull dip lunge workout. So I've got the high pull. You can see here as I pull up, I'm leaning forward at the top of the pull. So that gets an integration of those posterior delts and the traps and a bit of work from the bicep. Plus I've got that nice turnout. So the parallel grip one will mimic just a normal dip, and keeping it just parallel at the bottom. And then the turnout at the bottom is more like the turnout with the ring turnout, so you're mirroring the dip pattern. But it's a great exercise to really get those posterior delts working in the upper traps, so it mirrors the development that you want in a dip, so it stabilizes and strengthens and balances the shoulder. So there you can see the more vertical position, and then I'm leaning forward from the ankles, like you get that lean in the dip that occurs as you go into that deeper shoulder extension and strengthens that position. So this is more like the manner, so when you're pressing behind you, when you're trying to bring the hips forward from the L-sit position, and the dip is more like the back lever, so it crosses over into that. You can see that nice pull, really trying to get the elbows as high as the shoulders. So you need to choose a version and a load that's appropriate. Here's a basic dip version, which is great. You can get a nice press, really get those shoulder blades down and back. Then you can make it harder by having the legs out in front, no equipment needed, just 2 chairs, and you get a nice stretch and strengthen from it. And then taking it to the rings, feet on the ground, getting that nice turnout, which is really important to get that external rotation, get stronger there, and cross over into a lot of different gymnastic strength positions and movements. And then here, just holding that position, getting strong there, and then you can do the jump up and then doing a nice slow eccentric. As with all lifts, you're 1.5 times stronger lowering than you are lifting, so if you can get 3 consecutive 10-second reps, you're pretty solid on 1 rep going up. Here I'm using the band to assist. I've got the band set up where I can get the feet flat on the floor in the start position, or a little bit of room to play with. That way when I come down, if I want to make it harder, I can just bend the knees to keep the band tension more even. But here, using it to get that nice support position and then get that nice stretch at the bottom. So I like setting the rings up there. You can see that it's a bit higher, so I'm getting a full stretch, and that way I know how deep I'm going for every rep. And then getting that nice turnout. And then here, that's a heavier version that I'm working on at the moment, getting that turnout all the way down, but the goal would be to get that back up as well. So the lunge here, you can see my knees going right forward over that toe, so I'm really getting a nice stretch of the ankle and the quad, and then that back leg I'm stretching and strengthening that front split position, really trying to strengthen that hip flexor and get those quads nice and strong. And then your goal with the lunge is to be able to get that butt right down to the heel, so you're getting really deep knee flexion and deep hip extension, so it gets stronger. And that'll obviously transfer into the squats, single leg squats, but it's going to give you that nice split stance strength. Here I'm doing an alternating step forward lunge, really driving back, so it's a lot of quad work. The step back is easier, which was before. Then here's a multi-directional one, so that's the same, trying to keep the pelvis level, keeping the core nice and stable. And then when you're doing the 45-degree ones here, challenging the muscles on different angles. It's nice there, so getting it nice and deep, really. And then here's that step out into that lateral lunge squat position as well, but it's a lateral lunge. So you hinge forward a little bit in the hips. On all the other ones, you're trying to keep a nice vertical torso. And then getting those 45-degree ones really challenges the adductors and the glutes and the hips in all those different directions, so it injury proofs the hips and the knees and the back. And then the last one here, just got a rotational lunge, so rotating round and then externally rotating out of it, back up, and then the other side. So these are all great variations, and so I just encourage people to stay with a version that they're going to work for up to 8 weeks, and then keep working on it, submit it, get it back to me, and I'll see you soon.